Welcome back, everyone. We're here today with episode 232 of the Integrative Health Coach Success Podcast. Thanks so much for joining me here today on the show. What I'd love to be able to do is share with you whether you are a beginner or intermediate coach. And again, it could be, I would look at it as personal trainer, massage therapist, esthetician, chiropractor, etc. As you're beginning to build your business, whether in person or virtually online, I want you to start to already think about your next move or two. And this is an absolute game changer. And the reason why this is coming about is I was just working with one of my mentorship clients. They run a very successful health-based business. And the issue is that they are doing just way too many things that they don't need to be doing. So why does this matter? Think of it this way. You have to understand that you are probably at the top of your game of whatever it is. Like you have a lot of knowledge in chiropractic, personal training, health coach, integrative health, massage therapist, etc. And like if you have so let's take an example because we always use health coach, but let's just say it's a massage therapist. All right. So that's a specific skill. You need to become certified and licensed, and then you can do things that other people can't. So a personal trainer isn't certified in massage or licensed in massage, right? So you have a very specific skill set that enables you to charge a little bit more for your services because you had to go to school, you had to get your certification, you had to do your hours, and then you had to become licensed, right? So there's just that's how it works. And it's the same for chiropractic. And so the more schooling you need to go to, the less of those people are out there. That's just the way that it works, basically, because there's a larger, what's called barrier to entry. And so the same, again, with integrative health practitioners, you have to do level 1. And then if you want to be able to run labs, you have to do level 2. And that's typically a minimum of 6 months. And in some people, it takes a year, but it's up to them. Most people can do it if they choose to, half hour a day, 6 months. Okay. But nevertheless, you've done something in order to get yourself a higher skill level, and now you can charge a little bit more of a premium. And typically, even as a personal trainer, not too many people charge less than nowadays, $60, $70 per session. Back in when I was first starting out, believe it or not, we would charge $20 per session. Seriously, that was in the late 90s. Then when I started getting going, it was probably somewhere around $79. And then eventually, now it's $100+ for many, many personal trainers. Same for massage, same for health coaching, etc. So what I want to do is I want to share with you a very simple example. And I started doing this not until I started full-time around the year 2000, and I opened my first location at the end of 2006, early 2007. I had already gone off on my own, though, around 2003, 2004. So 3 years or so of working at other establishments, and then in the late 90s, part-time while I was in undergrad at various locations, then went off on my own. But it wasn't until 2007, so I started a little late, that I actually hired, because it's a big leap of faith, I hired what is called an administrative assistant, or if you're doing things online, a VA or virtual assistant. And I only hire them 2 days a week for 3 hours. And I've done a podcast on this for integrative health coaches, and I am going to link it up today. So please go to ihp.coach/232 for that show. We did it a ways back. I will find that for you. So let's just make sure the team links it up because that's a really important one. I'm not going to go over what they're able to help you really do today. But what I used this individual's skill set for that honestly I didn't really have because I didn't enjoy it or like it at all is they were able to do all of the invoices and billings. You have to find someone, of course, that you trust. They did then all of the filing. They filed all of my programming, which was a thing that I hated to do, in the date by the client's program. So that was very helpful. So I could go from front to back anytime the client had questions, be able to find that. So it saved me time. So those are all things that you have to do when you run your business. We had a little discussion about that over the last 2 weeks over your SWOT analysis, and is a partnership good for you? Again, just go to ihp.coach/podcast. Please do tune into these shows. I think they're going to be really helpful, and of course, they're all free. We want you to be successful. We want you to also raise the bar in this industry so that more good people are in it, more good people making a good income, which allows then more good people to come in. And what happens? Well, we get better results for clients. More clients start to get into natural health. That's what it's all about, right? We want people to learn about natural health. Okay, so What I would say is this. I use it for very specific things. You can use it for whatever it is that you need. You might need, most likely, scheduling, updating your schedule, basic customer service-based work, your own web edits, maybe, setting up some different logins. Like, it could be whatever you want. What are you doing? Typically, I ask people to say, like, what are you doing for an hour a day that you don't need to be doing? Right? Or what are you doing once a week that takes an hour that you don't need to be doing? And there's probably like 5 of those tasks. There might be 10. So you might be able to get back an hour or 2 a day. And that's all that I recommend people do. Like, you just need an hour or 2 back a day. Then what does that allow you to do? Okay, well, let's say we've got a lot of part-time integrative health practitioners that can work between 9 and 2. Kids are at school, they can work between 9 and 2. It's 5 hours a day. So they can get in a good 3-4 hours of coaching, and then they have 1 hour prep, then they give it a little social media time, etc. So when we look at that, it's a great schedule, right? 3 hours coaching, 1 hour prep, 1 hour social to get your content out. That's a 5-hour day. It works phenomenally well. It's 15 hours a week. I mean, again, you do the math, right? It's 60 appointments a month, 60 times whatever you want to charge. If it's $200, well, what are you at? $12,000, right? That's $150,000 a year. And that's not counting anything else. It can be a very good income, right? I mean, really can. So here's the thing. What I want to share with you is this. Before we get ahead of ourselves, because I know that people aren't there yet at doing 3 sessions a day, 3 appointments a day, I want you to think about just doing your first 5 appointments a week. Okay, that's it. So whether you work a 3-day week, 4-day week, 5-day week, 1 appointment a day, doesn't matter how you want to look at it. Let's say you're doing 1 appointment a day. I know it probably looks like you have more time, you can do all these things, and I get it. But I really tell people, once you get to 20 appointments a month, 5 appointments a day, what I want you to look at is, how can I buy back even an extra hour or 2 a day? Like all the stuff that you're doing administrative-wise. And here's why. What you should be doing for that extra 1 or 2 hours a day is out there doing way more discovery or free consultations, doing way more lunch and learn talks, doing way more social media, doing all of the things that only really you can do in order to get more clients. Like more Instagram stories, more direct messages to people you might be able to help, like all of those things. Your job, when you don't have clients, your only job is to get clients, help people, show them what you can do to help. I mean, that's basically it. So if you are behind your computer doing scheduling and updates and all, like that is not what you're supposed to be doing. You have a specific skill set that people need, right? If you're a personal trainer, do more personal training sessions. If you're a health coach, do more health coaching. If you're a chiropractor, do more chiropractic sessions, acupuncture, you get it, right? Okay, so here's what I want you to do. The bottom line is this. You're probably going to make $150 or more per appointment, right? Could be anywhere between, on the low end, $100, to the higher end, maybe it's $200. Again, it could obviously be much more. But let's just say it's $200, okay? So every new client you get, or let's just say you do 1 appointment more a week, that's it. So literally 1 more appointment a week. That's all you need to do, and you make $200. Great. Okay. So at $200, because maybe you're charging $180 and you make a little bit off, whatever it is else that you're offering. So you're making $200. If you hire a virtual assistant or in-person person for, let's say, $20 an hour, with 1 additional appointment per week, you pay for 10 hours of their work for you. Can you imagine getting 10 hours back? Right? 10 more hours a week. So that even if you didn't want to work, you earn it back with doing 1 more appointment, right? And what if you spend 10 more hours trying to get 1 client? Do you think you could do it? I think you could. And remember, that 1 client is most likely going to meet with you 3 or 4 more times that year as a health coach, right? And if you're a personal trainer, well, they're going to meet with you like once a week for the next however many weeks or years. So it is always worth your time to be able to, even when you think you can't afford it, but you have to have some income coming in first. So let's look at it this way. You have 5 appointments a week times $200 on average. You're making $1,000 a week. That's about $50,000 a year. Okay. And I'm not asking you to take any of that money and put it towards a virtual assistant or administrative assistant. What I'm saying is, with that 10 hours that you get back, 2 hours a day, you're going to use that 2 hours to literally return all of the questions, create more social media, set up more discovery calls through your automated system so that you can get 1 more client a week. And then that 1 client ends up being what? 2? If you do this each week, that's 4 more for the month. But let's start to look at the math and the exponential growth, okay? They're going to do a 3-session or 4-session package. For the next 3 or 4 months, every appointment begins to then double, right? And then add another 30. So let me give you the exact math. It's 4 more appointments a month. If you can get 1 more appointment, that's it, right? So just 1 more appointment, just to pay for your virtual administrative person. But here's what happens. 4 more the first month. Then you add those 4, you've got 4 more new ones, now you have 8. By the 3rd month, you have 12. And by the 4th month, you have 16 extra appointments. Let's do the math on that. 16 times 200 is 3,200, right? 16 more appointments times 200 equals 3,200. How much are you paying your administrative assistant for the week? You're paying them 10 times 2,200. Okay, so now for a month, you're paying them about $800. So 800, this is just part-time, we're just saying 10 hours a month, right? 3,200 versus 800. Let's subtract the 800 from the 3,200. You just net $2,400 on a yearly basis. That's $30,000 more. If that's all you ever do is just 1 more appointment. So now you went from 50 to 80,000 a year. And you bought back 10 more hours of your time that's basically already paid for. It's already included in that. So now you're making $80K plus you have a virtual assistant or an in-person person. That's, again, I always hired administrative assistants, people that were either in college, they were looking for an internship, they were looking to learn, and I would teach them. Like, they're teaching these things as they're learning. And you know what the thing is this, you're giving someone else a job. Like, you're literally giving someone else who's looking to make money a job. And $800 over the course of a year is 10 grand. So it's not like it's no money. It is. And you might say, well, I don't want to spend 10 grand. Remember, you just made 40 grand and gave 10 of that away. You would not have made the extra 40 because you wouldn't have the 2 hours extra a day in order to be able to go out and find more clients. So that's why this is how you begin to think as a true entrepreneur rather than just a solopreneur that is just kind of doing everything themselves. And that is exactly what I tried to share and did share with one of my clients who's already very successful. So by the end of our conversation, they got it. Right? Like, they got it. They understood that, yes, I can't be doing these things, especially when I can hire someone else so that I'm able to then grow my overall career and business. Because the thing is this, like, you got into this to be a coach, all right? A practitioner of some type. The goal is to then use those skills to do what? Help an individual, help people. How are you helping people more? By doing consultations? By teaching on social media? Or the flip side, entering your schedule, invoices, replying to basic customer service emails, etc. Of course, it's helping people. Even if it's for free teaching online where 99% of the people get it for free and one person says, yeah, I love this. I want to be able to work with you. That's how it works. You give and you get, right? The law of reciprocity, the law of cause and effect, the law of giving. People need to know you exist. You give out great free content. Then they say, oh, I do want to sign up for your discovery call. I do want a free consultation to see if you're able to help me. Then you share the value. They become a client. Lo and behold, just 1 more client a week. That's the magic, right? So hopefully this was helpful. Feel free to ask questions. Happy to always do follow-ups, but really enjoying this show, this community. And of course, if you're not already a part of the Integrative Health Practitioner community, I can't recommend enough. It's amazing. Really the most caring, genuine people. You can find out more at integrativehealthpractitioner.org. integrativehealthpractitioner.org. Plus, we have our live event for IHPs and anyone who's interested in health. This is a health-based event this October. It is called the Reimagining Health Summit, and the URL is reimagininghealthevent.com. You don't want to miss it. 16 world-renowned speakers giving TED-style talks, amazing exhibitors. It is the future of healthcare. I don't want you to miss it. Check it out. And again, that's over at reimagininghealthevent.com. Take care, everybody.